Hey, what's up guys? It's Maz here, back at you with another video. And I know what you're gonna say, I've been gone for a while, haven't made a lot of videos recently, but I'm here making a college football bowl prediction video. And before we get into that, I just wanted to say I'm gonna go through all the bowl predictions except for the two playoff games and the national championship game. And for each bowl, I'm gonna go through like 30 seconds to about a minute because I don't wanna spend too much time on a bowl game, so I won't go into too much depth on them, but I'll give you my pick and the reasons why I made that pick. But with that out of the way, let's get into the video. The first bowl game we got is the Myrtle Beach Bowl between Georgia Southern and Ohio. And for Ohio, they have their starting quarterback, their two best running backs, and their best receiver hit the transfer portal before this game. And normally, Ohio would be the better team in this situation, but I have to go Georgia Southern because of the transfer portal losses for Ohio. The next bowl game we got is the New Orleans Bowl between Jacksonville State and Louisiana. I got Jacksonville State in this one. Three of their losses this year have came to really good teams in Liberty, South Carolina, and New Mexico State. And I feel like they're out here to prove something that they should have been in the bowl games to begin with and not because there wasn't enough eligible teams. So I got Jacksonville State in this one. Next up is the Cure Bowl between Appalachian State and Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio's starting quarterback has been out for the year, and their backup quarterback has just hit the transfer portal, so this is going to be a very rough game for Miami of Ohio. And normally, without these subtractions, I would probably go Miami of Ohio, but I'm going App State. Plus, I really like App State's quarterback, Aguilar, so I'm going with the Mountaineers in this one. The next bowl game we got is the New Mexico Bowl between New Mexico State and Fresno State. Now in this one, Fresno State's coach won't be able to coach in the game due to health reasons. And also, New Mexico State's starting quarterback is questionable for this game. But even if he doesn't play, this is basically a home game for New Mexico State. And I also think they're the better team, so I'm going with New Mexico State in this one. The next bowl game we got is the LA Bowl between UCLA and Boise State. Now Boise State's starters in the transfer portal and their backups been out for the year. So I think UCLA will take this one, and also I believe UCLA is the more talented team, so I think they should easily win this game. Next up, we got the Independence Bowl between Texas Tech and Cal, and Texas Tech with their starting quarterback has been 6-3 this year, but also playing the devil's advocate, Cal has won 3 straight games to finish out the year. But I think Texas Tech will take this game because I think their offense is very potent and will outscore the Bears. After that, we got the famous Toastery Bowl between Western Kentucky and Old Dominion. I like Western Kentucky in this one. Even though 3 of their starting O-linemen have hit the portal, I really like Western Kentucky's quarterback, Austin Reed, and I think he'll get it done for the Hilltoppers. The next bowl game we got is the Frisco Bowl between UTSA and Marshall. And I think UTSA is the better team, plus Marshall's starting quarterback has hit the transfer portal. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a blowout, and I'm going with the Roadrunners in this one. The next game we got is the Boca Raton Bowl between Syracuse and USF. I like the experience that Syracuse brings to the table, and I also think they'll be more talented because this is a Power 5 versus a Group of 5 matchup. But I wouldn't be surprised if this game's really close due to the talent of USF's quarterback, Byron Brown. But I think the Qs win this one. The next one we got is one that I'm really excited about, and that's the Gasparilla Bowl between UCF and Georgia Tech. And I think Georgia Tech will win this one and expect a lot of points in this game, but I think they'll win this one because I don't think Gus Malzahn is a very good coach in bowl games. Plus, I really like the direction that Georgia Tech is going as a program, so give me the Yellow Jackets in this one. After that, we got the Birmingham Bowl between Duke and Troy, and both teams are without their coaches that started the year, and they'll have to play without them in this bowl game. But Duke has lost their starting quarterback, starting running back, and half their defense to the portal. So I think Troy will pull this one out in an upset against Duke. The next bowl game we got is the Camellia Bowl between Arkansas State and NIU. And I like Arkansas State's coach, Butch Jones. And I think they've overall played better competition throughout the year. So give me the Red Wolves in this one. And next up, we got the Armed Forces Bowl between James Madison and Air Force. And all the players that hit the portal for James Madison in the last couple weeks are expected to play in this game, which helps them out a lot. Plus, Air Force is coming off 4 straight losses, which I think greatly benefits James Madison. Plus, like I said with Jacksonville State, I think they're here to prove a point that they should have been in the bowl games to begin with. So give me James Madison. After that, we got the famous Idaho Potato Bowl between Utah State and Georgia State. And for Georgia State, they lost their best player to the portal, their running back, which was one of the best running backs in the nation. Plus, they also lost their best receiver, so this is going to be very hard for Georgia State to win. And to end the year, they lost 3 of their last 4, so I'm going to pick Utah State in this one. Next up, we got the 68 Ventures Bowl between South Alabama and Eastern Michigan. And in this one, both teams have lost their best players, but I think South Alabama will win this one due to them being similar to last year's team, in which last year's team was very good, that made it to a bowl game and won it. So I'm going to pick South Alabama. The next bowl game we got is the Las Vegas Bowl between Utah and Northwestern. And in this one, I think Utah is the better team. I think if they had a great starting quarterback, they'd be 10-2. But obviously, they're without Cam Rising this year. And I think that they've played overall better competition in the Pac-12 than Northwestern has played in the Big Ten. And they've won bigger games. So I'm going to go with the Utes in this one. And after that, we got the Hawaii Bowl between Coastal Carolina and San Jose State. And San Jose State finished the year with 6 straight W's. And this year, Coastal Carolina has overall been very disappointing. So I'm going to go with San Jose State in this one. And next up, we got the Quicken Lane Bowl between Minnesota and Bowling Green. And for Minnesota, the only quarterback that has completed a pass for them this year hit the portal. And Bowling Green has won 5 of their last 6. So give me Bowling Green in this one. After that, we have the First Responders Bowl between Texas State and Rice. And for Rice, their starting quarterback, JT Daniels, has medically retired for the rest of his career, which is a devastating loss for the Rice Owls. But I think Texas State is overall the better team, and I think they should win this game. But look out for Luke McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey's brother, to have a big game at receiver. But give me the Bobcats. The next bowl game we got is the Guaranteed Rate Bowl between Kansas and UNLV. And I think Kansas getting back Jalen Daniels is going to help them out a lot in this game. Plus, this is a Power 5 versus Group of 5 matchup, and the Power 5 team always has more talent. So I'm going to go with Kansas in this one. Next up, we got the Military Bowl between Tulane and Virginia Tech. And for Tulane, their head coach has took the job at Houston, but all their assistant coaches are supposed to stay and help coach in this bowl game. And I think Michael Pratt not hitting the portal and staying will end up winning them this bowl game. But this game will be very tough for the Green Wave because I think Virginia Tech will give them a fight. But I think Tulane wins this one. After that, we got the Duke's Mayo Bowl between North Carolina and West Virginia. And for North Carolina, Drake May and Tez Walker, 2 of their best players, Drake May being their starting quarterback and Tez Walker being their best receiver, have opted out of this game. And them ending off on 2 losses doesn't give you a lot of confidence in them. While West Virginia won 4 of their last 5 to end out the year. So give me West Virginia in this one. Next up, we got the Holiday Bowl between USC and Louisville. And for USC, Caleb Williams is opting out of this game, which he really is the only reason why they won games this year, because he put up so many points because of how poor their defense is. And also for USC, their best receiver and starting running back have opted out, which makes this a very tough game for USC to win. But I'm going to go with the Louisville Cardinals because I think this win will give their program big momentum, and I think they want to finish the year outright. So I think they'll come in the game with more confidence and more passion to win this game. The next bowl game we got is the Texas Bowl between Texas A&M and Oak State. And I know that Texas A&M is the school that I go to, but I'm going with Oak State in this one. Texas A&M, half of their starters have hit the portal or have opted out, and Oak State went to their conference championship game. So I think Oak State will run the ball very well on the A&M Aggies, and I think they'll win this one. And after that, we got the Fenway Bowl between SMU and Boston College. Now, I'm going SMU in this one. Even though their starting quarterback is out for the year, their backup quarterback was able to beat Tulane in their conference championship game, which is very impressive. And also, I think they're the best G5/Group of 5 team in the nation, so I think they beat Boston College in this one. Next up, we got the Pinstripe Bowl between Miami and Rutgers. And Miami's starting quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, has hit the portal, plus their backup quarterback, Emory Williams, is out for the year. So it's going to be very hard for Miami to win this game. But I think they will pull it out and find a way to win because of how much this win would mean to the program and the momentum that Mario Cristobal would gain after this win. So I'm going to go with the Miami Hurricanes in this one. The next bowl game we got is the Pop-Tarts Bowl between K-State and NC State. And for K-State, they lost their starting quarterback to the portal. And on the opposite side, NC State has finished out the year with 5 straight wins. So give me the Wolfpack in this one. I think it will be pretty close, even though K-State did lose their starting quarterback. I think NC State pulls this one out. Next up, we got the Valero Alamo Bowl in my hometown of San Antonio, and it's between Arizona and Oklahoma. And for Oklahoma, their starting quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, has hit the portal and is transferring to Oregon next year. And they lost their OC, Jeff Levy, who's an offensive genius. So this is going to be a very hard game for them to win. Plus, I think Arizona pulls this one out due to their quarterback, Noah Fafita. He's so fun to watch, and I think overall this Arizona team is one of the best teams to watch in college football. And I feel like this win will give them momentum going into next year, and I think this is a big program win. And after that, we got the Gator Bowl between Clemson and Kentucky, and I think Clemson wins this one due to them winning their last 4 games. And I think their wins have been better compared to Kentucky's. And plus, at the end of the year, I think they drowned out all the noise that they were getting from the media about Dabo Swinney and that they weren't a good team. So I think Clemson wins this one over Kentucky. Next up, we got Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl between Oregon State and Notre Dame. And for Oregon State, they lost both their starter and their backup to the portal. Plus, their coach isn't going to be coaching for this bowl game. Even though Notre Dame is losing Hartman because he's opted out for the NFL draft, I think Notre Dame will win this one. I think they're overall a more talented team, plus they have their head coach. The next bowl game we got is the Liberty Bowl between Memphis and Iowa State, and I like Memphis in this one. They've only lost 3 games this year, 1 to Missouri, 1 to SMU, and 1 to Tulane, all 3 amazing teams. And I do like the direction that Iowa State is going as a program, but I like Memphis in this one due to them being the better team. And after that, we have the Goodyear Cotton Bowl between Ohio State and Missouri. And I like Missouri in this one. I think Ohio State will have a ton of opt-outs coming out soon. And plus their starting quarterback has hit the portal. So I like Missouri in this one. Plus overall, I think they're the better team, even without like the opt-outs and the transfers. Missouri only lost to Georgia and Alabama. And Ohio State, realistically, they should have lost to Notre Dame. And that would make their only good win Penn State, and then they would have lost to Michigan and Notre Dame. So I think Missouri overall is the better team, and I think they should win this one. Next up, we got the Peach Bowl between Ole Miss and Penn State. I think Penn State's defense will be big in this one. I don't necessarily think that they will completely shut down Ole Miss's offense, but I think they'll definitely neutralize parts of it. But I like Penn State in this one, and I also think that Lane Kiffin isn't that good of a bowl coach, so I think that will also help Penn State win this game. The next bowl game we got is the Music City Bowl between Auburn and Maryland. And this game is basically a home game for Auburn, that being in Nashville. And Auburn will have some opt-outs and some transfers, but I don't think that will matter. I think they'll win this game. And winning this game will help momentum carry over to next year, which they hope to improve and compete next year. After that, we got the Capital One Orange Bowl between UGA and FSU. And I think Georgia curb stomps FSU in this one without Jordan Travis, obviously. And I expect a lot of opt-outs on both sides due to them not getting the result that they wanted for being in the playoff. But I'm just going to speak on this shortly. I don't think FSU should have been in the playoff. I don't think it's the most deserving teams. I think it's the best teams. And it really wouldn't have made that good of television and good football. They would have just been slaughtered by any team they would have been put in against. Obviously, with Jordan Travis, I think they would have competed and maybe even won a couple games, maybe even won the championship. But without Jordan Travis, I don't think they deserve to be in it. Next up, we got the Arizona Bowl between Wyoming and Toledo. And for Wyoming, it's their head coach's last game. So I think they'll go out there with more passion and more confidence, and they will win this game. Plus, Toledo's starting quarterback, which was a lot of their offense this year, has hit the portal. So give me Wyoming in this one. The next bowl game we got is the ReliaQuest Bowl between LSU and Wisconsin. And for LSU, don't be surprised if Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors opt out of this game. But even if they do, I think they're the more talented team, and I think they should win this one. Also for Wisconsin, Braylon Allen is going to opt out, which hurts them very much because they're not able to pass the ball very well, and that is their main source of offense, so give me LSU in this one. The second to last bowl game we got is the Citrus Bowl between Iowa and Tennessee, and look for Tennessee to turn this game into a track race, which we obviously know Iowa can't compete against. They scored 16 points per game, and which is one of the worst points per game average in the NCAA, if not the worst. And I think Tennessee's offense just completely destroys Iowa, and I think this will be a blowout. The last bowl game we got is the Fiesta Bowl between Oregon and Liberty. And for Oregon, I think Bo Nix will end up playing in this game, but even if he doesn't, I think Oregon should still pull it out. With Bo Nix, I feel like it would be more convincing, but without him, this could be a very close game due to Liberty being one of the best Group of 5 teams, maybe even being the best. But with that being said, I think Oregon wins this one. Now that's it for the prediction video. I'm glad to be back making videos for y'all about college football, and I'm going to start making different videos about other things, but Let me know what y'all thought about the video in the comment section down below. But with that being said, I'm out. See ya.